Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, and today I'll go over unboxing along with just a tech look at the specs of it. So anyway, let me just quickly grab my little knife. There we go. So right off the bat I can kind of see that the box is so damn thin. And obviously that is because we don't get a charger inside of the box. So there is our tablet. I'm gonna set it to the side for now. Get the pen. I keep saying that, and I will continue to say this. Thank you, Samsung, for including a pen with your tablet that is supposedly designed for creators. It's nice to see something that basically is expected from a device to come with a device. This is a direct jab at Apple and their damn tablets, which supposedly are for creators, and yet they sell a pen separately for, what is it, $100? I will say no F that. So anyway, apart from that, we have, I'm assuming, cable in here. Yep, there it is. We have a cable, so this is a Type-C to Type-C, which if you bought any kind of Samsung device in past like 2 years, I believe in like past 2 years, all of the Samsung devices did come, at least the higher model ones, come with a Type-C charger, assuming the ones that still could come with a charger. Nowadays, none of them come with a charger, so hopefully you already had one. And like I said, Samsung majority of the time uses the Type-C to Type-C cable now, so you kind of need the newer version of a charger if you're planning to use this cable. Hopefully you already have a Type-C cable with a even older charger as an example. And in here we just got some paperwork and SIM eject tool. So I'm gonna move that to the side. There is nothing else in the box. So there we go, it's turning on. So while it's turning on, I'm gonna quickly run over these specs right here so you are aware, at least starting with the display. So this is a Super AMOLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 Plus certified. It's a 12.4 inches in size, 84.6% screen to body ratio with a pixel density of 266. Now, for you, this tablet might look a little bit small at the moment because the camera is a little bit farther out, but just as a size comparison, this is a, 6.4 inch display, I think, something like that, maybe a little bit smaller. The Mate 20 Pro, right? And here it is next to this device. So this is more of a size comparison, as you can see right here. The device is quite big, though because the camera is a little bit further, it doesn't seem so. Anyway, let's quickly go to the setup. Now, one thing that I'll mention, I'm kind of surprised with the pen color because it is completely black. Previous, at least for instance, I did an unboxing of the S7 FE, and that one came with like a whiter / silverish color pen. The color of the device, I believe, was the same, so I don't know why they changed the color here of the pen itself. Select the country. One thing that I don't like, that I will also point out here, I did point out what I like, which is inclusion of a pen. What I don't like is inclusion of restarting your device when you select your damn region. Why? Why is that a thing? No other device needs to do that. Does the language change confuses the device that is running some top of the line specs right here? Anyway, I just let it run through. It's not like we have a choice here. Okay, so you just probably experienced a nice cut in the video. What happened is I ran out of storage on my camera, so I literally finished the entire video before realizing that I'm not recording for the past 5 minutes to 10. So anyway, I'm gonna continue kind of going over this again. Where I left off, probably as you've seen, was once it was rebooting. Obviously it's already rebooted and fully set up now, so yeah, let's just keep on going. Sorry if I'm gonna repeat myself, because like I said, I'm kind of going over this again, so yeah. Anyway, I believe I already went over the screen specs, so those were really good. Now, next thing that I was going to go over was the cameras. So at the back we have double cameras right here, and we're looking at 13 megapixel and 6 megapixel sensor. So the 13 is a wide sensor and the 6 one is an ultra wide. There we go. And with that in mind, we can shoot at 4K 60 frames max. And to be honest, I wouldn't really recommend, or maybe not recommend, I probably wouldn't expect too much from such a setup. This is just a 13 megapixel sensor. So shooting at 4K 60 and then watching this on this kind of display might show that it's not the greatest thing to do. Anyway, the front one sensor, which is right over here, is a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and just as before, it can shoot at 4K up to 60 frames. And again, just as before, I probably wouldn't expect any kind of miracles out of this what was it, 13 megapixel, no, 12 megapixel sensor. So yeah. Now that being said, we can move over to the specs. So right here, I get to now skip all the problems that I was, or all the time that I wasted looking for what specs this has exactly, what version of it is, and things like price tag. So I can just straight up jump to it. This is the base model running 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, which this specific model tops out at 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigs of RAM. Now, here's the little caveat. I would say 8 gigabytes of RAM for basically majority of Android devices is just fine. I personally don't really need anything more than 8. So in my opinion, the 8 gigabyte model is plenty good for almost anything that you want to do. And in terms of storage, 128 gigabytes of storage might seem low, but Samsung deserves applause here for, whoops, I just dropped it, there we go, for including a expandable storage. You can just slap in a SD card in here, and I believe 500 gigs will just work no problem. You could, hopefully you can push it up to a terabyte if you really need to, although it doesn't really specify it, so I'm guessing, but still, 500 gigs is probably no-brainer in here. It should work no problem. So even that is already a hefty amount of storage for a tablet, and just the fact that it can do that is well done, Samsung. I really commend you for that one. Anyway, I can quickly maybe show you the specs right here if it's still open, and yes it is, so we can see it right here. So 101 gigs accessible to us, so that's a little bit weird considering we're losing 27 gigs on God knows what. And we also have 8 gigabytes of RAM, which apparently gives us 3.2 gigabytes available. That's kind of interesting, to be honest. I didn't really pay attention to this one, but yeah, we were just losing half of our storage somewhere, so that's nice. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. So in terms of actual specs of this, we are running a Snapdragon 8 Gen 8, or well, 8 Gen 1, that's the name now. And we also have a hefty, and I mean that by every sense, hefty 10,090 milliamp hour battery. So this is a absolute unit in here. And in terms of charging, we have a 45 watt charging capability of it with, as you probably already guessed, yep, no charger. So you hopefully have one of your own that charges at least 45 watts to utilize this to the fullest. And with this kind of charging, you're looking at 82 minutes to charge this battery to full from basically dead. Now, I assume the 82 minutes is when the device is off, so it consumes less battery. And additionally, you might benefit more from not actually draining it all the way, because I believe it's probably gonna follow the same logic that most of the devices, when they have like some fast charging, they charge the first half fairly quickly, but then the battery starts heating up and the device slows down the charging. So because of that, expect that you're gonna charge your battery halfway from zero, a little bit quicker than what you would expect, meaning 41 minutes advertised, because the battery will be cold. Thus basically it should charge quicker, then it will slow down for the second half and give you that number basically, though this is just kind of my speculation here. Now anyway, the last thing that I'll point out here is the price tag. Now initially when camera stopped recording, I went on a little adventure looking for the price, and I encountered the Samsung website as I probably expected, and was fairly disappointed with it, considering how much absolute trash they include instead of just giving you, yeah, there it is, it's $1,000, deal with it, right? As you would expect. I mean, that's kind of what I would expect, to be honest. But no, we have like, oh, substitute your phone to pay 300 and as an example $99, though this number is completely pulled out of the hat. I haven't really checked because I'm not interested, and most of the time when you have like massive, for instance, discounts, that is because they probably want you to trade your, for instance, brand new Galaxy S21 or something like that. So keep that in mind when looking at these prices, and well, stay a little bit vigilant in that sense. But when I checked on Polish sites, because that's where I am from, this device comes at around 1,000 and what is it, 90 or something like 1,000 and a little bit below $1,100, I believe. So I assume just because they used to or they always love to put the nines at the end, so this is I'm guessing when you look at official price, 1,099, or more accurately probably in US websites 999, because they don't include tax. For me, that the price that I gave you, the 1,100, is already with tax included. So yeah, that's basically the price, and still $1,100 seems to be a fairly decent competitive price, considering this device has some really good hardware in here, really good display, includes a pen, something that Apple does not, and yeah, I can't really complain. It's a really nice device. Now obviously you can get a smaller one and cheaper one if you just drop down from the Plus to like the normal one, something that exists. And if you want a little bit more beefed up version, you also have the Ultra one, so you have choices here as well. And I'm pretty sure all of them will be just a fantastic choice. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.